this talk. Um, but yeah, whatever. I obviously can't stop you from doing it, nor do I want to. That's very fucking like Talibanish to say no, you can't do that. So you do what you want, and whatever happens will happen. So fast forward now to
Ben.
yeah then dot dot dot. um, um, yeah. So then a few weeks go by, and she sends me a text message saying, "Hey, I'm gonna be in Rhode Island this weekend." And I'm like, I know why you're coming down. I don't want to fucking be a part of this. um, but yeah, she sends me a text message like, "Hey, I'm coming down to Rhode Island this weekend. It would be really cool to see you again. I miss hanging out with you." And I just sent her a text message like, "I'm working all day. Like, I'm working the entire fucking weekend." She goes, "Oh, well, okay. Well, maybe next time then. I guess." um, but I was just like, because like I know why I knew why she was coming down, and I was just like, fucking like, why contact me? You know, like to me it was just like, hey, I want to rub this in your face again, but I want to do it in person this time.
Seriously.
So I was just like,
And I
Jesus.
mean, for all you know, she might not have done that, but every action up until this point has kind of led you to that. And I don't know, to play devil's advocate for a minute here,
Oh boy, here we go.
well, just to kind of take it from not Liz's perspective, just for a second.
Like,
Uh, to begin with, it has been a long time, and then for you to all of a sudden be like, "Hey, I think I'm kind of digging you," is a little out of left field, and I can see why she might be kind of taken aback and not reciprocate those feelings, and that's totally fine. But then there's still no really excuse for the whole like I'm into this dude and then this dude and then this dude and every other dude who's not you thing. And I've
yeah,
been in that situation, and that fucking sucks. So I
yeah,
can empathize with that completely.
yeah, because I was just like, Jesus Christ. I was like, yeah, like okay, yeah, like granted the whole feelings thing, but like I never like came out of left field and said, would you want to go out on a date with me or anything like that? Like I was just like, I
You
just
played
want
it slow.
to play it slow. I was just like, man, I want to keep hanging out with you. Like
Yeah.
that's all I want right now.
And I can also kind of see why she would still answer the I guess thing because literally you said I guess. So I mean if she takes it like that then fine. I'm just saying I would read
Yeah,
into it a little bit further because just like no, text is not good at creating tone, but when you put something like an ellipses like that before that, that kind of usually means like you're not so sure about something
yeah, or like, yeah, you're right,
or
right.
you're
And it doesn't create a
confused or like something like that.
yeah,
It's a little muddy basically.
a little
So for
muddy.
you to be like I guess is like I guess he doesn't actually. I would take that as a no.
Yeah,
So I mean, I can kind of see her point up to a point, but I have to empathize with you more in the majority of these situations because it's like I've been there, and there's really just no need for parading it around and shit and being so fucking childish and shit.
woohoo! I win. Ring
You
the
do
bell.
win.
Ring the bell. I win.
But wait, there's more
Yeah.
in the rubber match.
um, but yeah. So, God, I don't even know where the fuck I was anymore. Um,
You just
yeah,
mentioned
yeah. She was
that
she was
she
just
was
coming down to
coming
Rhode
down.
Island and whatnot and all that shit. Um, but yeah, I was just like, you got to be fucking kidding me with this whole thing. Like, it was it was just fucking infuriating at times. And like, I like I see your points. I see like the old devil's advocate. I can see the other side of the argument. I'm usually really good about that. Like just
Mhm.
seeing the other side of the fence for what it is and whatnot, and just kind of going with the flow. And and it's like that saying. There's three sides to every story. There's my side, there's your side, and the truth. And like I really wish I was like making some of this up because I could probably be a great writer if I could. But I mean none of this is made up. Except for the whole not Liz nickname.
Well, yeah.
That's just too adorable. That's just too adorable not to use. Um, but yeah, so there's that's kind of like the whole thing.
Well, there is sort of the other thing. I hate to say the then, but because remember I alluded to earlier the whole thing where
Oh,
she had his number and shit.
that's right. Yes, this kind of leads us to another discussion. Yeah, a mutual friend of ours had passed away recently, and like I think you were a lot closer with him than I was. Like I never really hung out with the kid, but anytime we saw each other, we'd say hey to each other. He was never mean to me. I was never mean to him. I never even like busted the guy's balls. Um,
Yeah, I'll admit I wasn't super close to him,
but
and
you at least
he
knew him better
was.
than I did.
Yeah, I mean, he was the best friend of my girlfriend at the time.
Yeah,
So, I mean, I definitely saw him a lot.
yeah,
Um, there were things I liked about him. There was things I didn't necessarily like about him. But I mean, he was friendly to everybody. He was a cool cat. And he
yeah,
was the bassist in my band for a Battle of the Bands that we did at Riv.
yeah,
So I mean, yeah, I mean, we definitely hung out a bit, and he was a cool cat. And it's really too bad because of all the people that I would have thought like would be like I would have thought that he would have passed away by the time I was like 80 or something if I ever get to that point.
yeah.
I never would have thought that I'd read about him passing away at the age of fucking 32. I'm fucking 31 this October, 32 this October myself. So I
Yeah.
mean,
You old
that's like
fart.
goddamn.
You old
I know,
fucking
seriously.
yeah. You fucking old fart.
I'm an old fart.
Yeah. All
So
right,
yeah, it was just so weird that to hear about it, like, and it's just like, wow, really?
yeah. And like this kind of leads us to like the next part of the Not Liz saga.
Yes.
So she's the one that sends me a text message saying, this guy passed away.
Hmm.
And I was like, oh shit, So we start like kind of reminiscing about it and whatnot. And I'm trying to be the good friend here because I'm given the situation, it's like, you know what, that's really all you can be.
Hmm. Just
Um,
just as backstory for people listening, this not Liz was also friends with my girlfriend at the time, so she was also. In fact, the three of them, not Liz, my girlfriend at the time, and this dude who passed away, were all very, very close.
yeah, all very very close friends.
They're like a tripod,
Yeah,
not like literally, because I
yeah,
won't get it
yeah. I mean, if you took one of them away, they would still stand up
right.
in a sense. Um, it's not like they have to stay together the entire time, or else they fall down. Like one of them can't be
Right.
like,
Well,
oh,
no,
yeah, like they can't all be standing around. One of them says, "Hey, I'm going to Wendy's. I'll be right back," and then the other two just fall down.
no, but they were very close.
Not a literal tripod, is what I'm trying to say.
Exactly. Think outside the box. People.
Yeah, box.
Think outside the tripod.
Yeah. um. So, like I said, this leads us to the next part of the whole Not Liz saga.
You're reminiscing.
Yeah. So we're reminiscing and whatnot. And I was like, just keep me
So
up to date with the funeral and whatnot. Cause like I was like, if I don't have to work that day, or if it's like later on in that day and I'm working like in the morning or something like that, I'll still try and go down and try and make it for that. Try and get you to come down, try and like get her to come down. That way we can all like kind of go there and you know just like reminisce and at least pay our respects to his family. So I get the information about the fucking the funeral arrangements and whatnot, and it was actually this morning. We're recording this on the 21st. It was actually this morning at 10 o'clock, and you couldn't make it down. Not Liz couldn't make it down, and I had to work this morning, so I was like, oh shit, I can't fucking go.
yeah, unfortunately, I mean, I think just everybody has their own shit going on. Plus, I mean, it is in Connecticut, which,
Yeah, which
as you pointed out to me, is like 2 hours from where you are,
yeah,
and you are an hour and a half from me.
yeah.
So, if I was going to go to this thing, it was going to be a long affair.
Yeah, which if it started at like 10 in the morning, we'd probably want to get there for like 10 o'clock or even like 9:30. You would have to leave your house at like 6 o'clock in the morning.
Seven? Yeah, six
Yeah,
or
like
seven ish.
yeah, like 6:30 in the morning, like no later than 6:30.
Right.
And
So
then,
that means that, and also I'd have to take like a whole day out of work because there's no way I'd be back before like
yeah,
noon.
no fucking way. Um, so, she sends me the funeral arrangements and whatnot, and I just uh, I just said, okay, well, none of us can make it down there. I said, how about this? I have this coming Saturday off from work. What if what if I go up there, I meet up with you and Bruce, and we all kind of just meet up. We'll go out for lunch or dinner or whatever have you, and we'll just have our own little memorial tribute. Like, just tell stories, just kind of laugh and just say goodbye in our own way. You know,
Mm-hmm.
saying that would be better than not doing anything at all. Because
Yeah.
he was a good cat. And it's it's difficult to think like I'm not going to be able to say goodbye to this person.
Yeah. Well, I mean that's the thing. You never really can, but I
Yeah,
think really what's so shocking is you definitely don't expect it at that age, and you
yeah,
don't expect it, from someone who's just like,
Who-
so like outgoing and friendly and just seems so happy all
yeah.
the time and shit.
Like
Like,
dude would have given you the shirt off his back if you asked
yeah,
for it. You know,
yeah.
Either that or you would have said, "Well, my shirt looks terrible on you. Come on, let's go to Walmart. We'll find you something that looks good."
He,
Yeah,
he gave me advice about my hair actually at one point.
see, fucking
Yeah, I don't want to dish too much about him because but I will say that he was at one point he identified as gay. I don't know if he did at the time of his death or not because, like I said, I wasn't really close to him in the past few years. But
yeah,
at the time that I knew him, he was gay or at least bisexual or whatever. And so I was getting ready for the semi-formal, and I was going with my girlfriend at the time, and he was in the room because he was obviously going as well. He was all dressed up and shit, and I was kind of like putting gel in my hair.
yeah.
And I was just asking his advice, like, what do you think, man? Because just dude to dude, what do you think? And he was like, honestly, you shouldn't gel it up. I was like, really? He's like, yeah, it kind of looks bad. You really shouldn't do it. And I was like, fuck. And then I did it anyway. And anytime I see pictures, I'm like, man, that fucker was right. Like, it looks terrible.
I thought you were gonna be like,
I
dude.
should have listened to
I
him.
thought you were gonna be like, dude. Just looks at me and just goes, "You remember there's something about Mary, the whole cum in the hair thing, like that. That's you, like that's you right now. that's how you look." um, but yeah, so I float this idea to not Liz about us having our own little memorial tribute, whatnot. And she says, "Hey, that would be really great. I could really use hugs from you and Brian." And I'm like, "Fucking what?" Like, I never mentioned Brian. Like, that wasn't even a thought to me. And I was just like, you're kidding, right?
Especially
Like,
because Brian had no knowledge of this cat at
yeah,
all.
no knowledge of this cat at all. And like, not only that, but like, yeah, Brian and I are friends and whatnot. But the whole thing is like, this was like us getting together to remember a friend.
Yeah.
Like, he has no dog in this fight.
Which makes me think either we should just completely get rid of that idea and just hang out, or I don't know,
Yeah,
fucking deep six the whole not Liz thing.
yeah,
Which is kind of doing the
uh,
same thing.
yeah,
I don't know. It
but
puts you in a weird predicament though,
yeah,
because you
it's
don't really want to
yeah,
deep
you're kind of breaking up
six
here.
it. At
Yeah,
the
you're
same time, it's like
yeah. I didn't get one fucking word of that. I didn't get one fucking word of that. But it's one of those things where, like, given the situation, if I were to pull out now, I would be like, that is like an ultimate like asshole scumbag move to just say like, okay, we were supposed to have this memorial little tribute for just us and our friends, but I don't want to bring this fucking guy here, whatever, fuck you, let's not do this. It's like, we
but maybe point out that it is a little weird and be like, well, how did this dude know?
well, it gets a little bit weirder. You're like, oh really, how can it get weirder?
Yeah, seriously. She's like, let's dress as furries.
Yeah, so no.
My
Like,
God.
hey, you want to go to BronyCon? Like, fuck you, no. Um, but yeah, so she's like, yeah, I could use hugs from you and Brian and whatnot, and I was like, not sure about